In order to truly understand the concept of love bombing and manipulative romantic relationships, you first need to know about trance states. Sandra L. Brown wrote this excellent book, Women Who Love Psychopaths. This is a terrible title for this book, which has such great information that all women should know. It should be like dating 101. As soon as I read it, I was like, why don't we all learn this stuff? Okay, trance states. According to Sandra, people experience the tuning out process called highway hypnosis as they get sleepy watching the double yellow lines on the highway. Before long, you've arrived at your exit, you don't remember the last few miles of driving. While you were driving, your mind was tuning out. By the time you tuned back in, things had happened. Time had elapsed, you were back into awareness and at your destination. For a few minutes, though, you were in a trance, an altered state of consciousness that causes very slow reactivity. It is the same thing as a flow state. In one sense, you're tuned out. You barely know that time has passed, and you may even forget to eat. But in another sense, it is also associated with hyper-focused attention. So hyper-focused trance states produce a loss of awareness of time, just like the tuning out trance state does. When people are wrapped and focusing on each other, like in the love bombing stage or in the early relationship, they lose track of time. This state of hyper-focus is tapped into by predators and used to create state-dependent learning, which imprints any information learned during the love bombing stage very deep into the brain. So once it is in there that deeply, the great memories associated with early stage are difficult to dislodge. You'll come back to them again and again in the later stages when everything has turned to ruin, and it will increase the cognitive dissonance or confusion that you feel as you're trying to sense make what on earth is going on around you. So you need to understand that relationships with pathological people can leave you brain damage. So if you try to predict what you would do if you were in the relationship, it's not a valid comparison, because by the end of the relationship, your brain would be so changed that you actually don't know what you would do. What you learn in the trance state is weighted much more heavily by the brain because it is so deep in the subconscious. So these earlier memories are actually much more powerful than the later ones. So if you've been love bombed and abused by a dark triad abuser, like a psychopath, sociopath, or narcissist, you can have flashbacks in the form of intrusive thoughts. But these aren't flashbacks of horror, but of the euphoric early days. So that is why it is so hard for you to break the cycle. Why don't more people know this? So that is why if someone loves bomb you, you have got to keep your feet firmly planted on the ground. Subscribe so you can keep yourself and your loved ones safe from creepy predators.